hello. We're here to discuss the unsolicited hate Blue Ivy has received ever since she was a baby, and now she's 8 years old, and here we are again. So, if you would like to see more, then just stay tuned. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. And while I'm still in the introduction, I have a website, lavidarosastyle.com. The link is down below. You can find cute earrings like the ones I'm wearing right now. These are one of my best sellers. So without further ado, let's get into this video because it's quite sad that this video even has to be made. So Blue Ivy is an 8-year-old girl who is the daughter of Jay-Z and Beyonce. And ever since she was born, people were clamoring to see her. Obviously, Beyonce is this huge celebrity, so is Jay-Z. So when her firstborn gets here, everybody wants to see her child. And I just remember when her picture was finally revealed, everybody was talking about how gorgeous she was. And I believe it's because she has features and her hair texture was looser, you know, like what a lot of babies have when they're first born. So people didn't really have a lot of negative things to say about her. She looked more like her mother and her grandmother. But as she grew older and her features started to becoming more prominent, you started to see more people criticizing her. Mind you, she was still a baby. She was still a baby. She was still being carried in people's arms and on people's hips. And people were steady criticizing this child. That's something I just personally, I don't agree with. I don't think babies are really necessarily ugly. I think some have stronger features than others. But I really don't like to call babies ugly. But there were people that were freely calling her ugly. I stayed defending her because I was like, why are y'all calling this baby ugly? Like, I just didn't get it. And then when her hair started to get a tighter texture, 4C type of hair texture, and they were just letting it go free. They were letting her have her little afro. It wasn't tamed necessarily. I guess you could call it untamed, because it wasn't restricted with any ponytails or anything. It was just free. People talked about that little girl hair so bad they started a petition to make her parents comb her hair, which that was beyond ridiculous to me. And I just have to be honest, it was our own people doing this. It was our own people criticizing a baby. And I think people have forgotten that this happened, or they got all of a sudden got selective amnesia over this, because now Blue Ivy has grown up. She has long hair flowing. Okay, you know, this is weave. Okay, her hair is long like this for real, okay, down her back. And now all of a sudden, oh, it's so cute now that it's straight. Okay, but I wonder, would y'all be saying the same thing if it was shrunken back up into the little tight afro? Because some people can have long hair and then it shrinks up real tight. On the other hand, when Northwest was a baby, her hair was wild. It was doing whatever it wanted to do too. But her hair was of a loose texture. So nobody started a petition for Northwest. I mean, nobody even thought to do that. Nobody cared that Northwest hair was just wild and flowing in the wind because she had a loose texture. All right. There, I want to get into features and texture, right? I want to get into how Black people, we own certain features. When it comes to a wide nose, when it comes to big juicy lips, we own the corner market on that. Like, that is just ours. When you see that on certain people, it'll just automatically, I know they're Black. It just clicks in our head. You gotta be Black. For instance, Barack Obama is of mixed race. I believe he has an African father and he has a white mother. But when you look at Barack Obama, phenotypically, he looks like a Black man. It's mainly because of his nose. I mean, let's just be honest. When you look at him, like, if he had like a skinny bridge nose, he could be a little bit ambiguous, but because of his nose, that makes it clear that that is a black man, regardless of if he's mixed race or not. When people look at him, they view him as a black man. Okay, I just wanted to pause here and say that I understand that many black people do not believe in the one drop rule, and they think if you are mixed, then you should be considered biracial and not just black. But whether you believe that or not, my point is what you assume someone is based off their appearance only and not their genetic makeup. So with that being said, I'm going to continue. So in comparison, I'm going to put up a picture of Rashida Jones, who is also a mixed race woman. She has a black father, white mother, but her nose is more of the European standard, right? So when I look at her, she's sort of like Meghan Markle to me as well. Like when I first glance at them, I'm just like, I just assumed they're a white woman because of the super light skin, straight hair, whatever. But then when someone tells me that they're mixed, I'm like, oh, okay. Whereas in comparison, Barack Obama, there's no question, he's black. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to, you know, I know a lot of people be pumping their lips up these days, getting lip fillers. I'm talking about natural big lips, natural juicy big lips. You know the big lips we used to get teased over? You know the big lips they used to, when they did blackface and painted their face black, they used to like draw this big red mouth to resemble our big lips. A feature we used to get hate for that has now become trendy. Our race of people owned the nose and the lips. There are other races of people that have a curl, maybe a loose curl, whatever. But black people, we the ones that own 4C hair. I would say type 4. I could say type 4, but 4C hair, that's ours, okay? When we see 4C on somebody, we already know you black. You black. Even, I'm going to give you another biracial example. There is a girl named Doja Cat, and she has very European features. She has light skin. So when you look at her, she mostly wears wigs and stuff. So when you look at her, she looks very ambiguous. You kind of don't know where, you know, what race, what ethnicity. You can't place it, right? She recently showed her natural hair, and it's a 4C hair texture. And when I tell you that picture was posted, all I saw in the comments was, I did not know you were black. She black? Black? I had no idea she was black. Black? In my Soulja Boy voice. And that's because when we see 4C hair, automatically, you black. We own these features. We own these textures. But we are the first people to make fun of these features, to clown somebody for these features, to call somebody nappy-headed because of their texture, to judge. And, you know, I can't even sit up here and act like I've never done it. In doing this video and taking these notes and trying to, like, do a little research, I had to search within myself and see, did I have my own biases that I need to work on? And I do remember in the past, like way before I even thought about being natural, I used to judge people I would see all the time with the 4C hair texture that went natural. I used to judge them. And why? Because it wasn't the loose curly hair. Y'all know a girl with wild loose curly hair, they get praised. But if a girl with 4C hair walks out and she lets her hair do whatever it want to do, she gonna get talked about. People probably even gonna take a picture and put it in a group chat and talk about her. And why is that? Why is that? Why are we okay with wild curly loose curls, but when it comes to 4C hair texture, oh, that's untamed, that's unmanned, that's not professional? We need to check ourselves. A lot of people say that Jay-Z is ugly. And you know what? Beauty is an eye of the beholder. But if you think his nose and his lips are what automatically makes him ugly, that's where the problem comes in. Is because those are the blackest features you can have. So if you think those features would be ugly on anybody, it don't matter if it's Jay-Z, this person, that person, they could never be cute on anybody, that's a problem. And also that's featurism and texturism at work. So basically, ever since slavery, we've been taught to believe that the European standard of beauty is more attractive than our black features. So that means like a smaller bridge of the nose, light eyes, straight hair, things like that. That's why people put those people with light eyes or straight hair or you know, a European standard nose, we put them up on a pedestal as well, because that is considered better, that is considered more attractive, you know what I'm saying? And for so long, our features were made fun of. We were called gorillas, we were called animals, we were made fun with blackface, like I said in the beginning, where they would exaggerate our features and also stereotype us in the most negative way possible. I really wanted to insert this chart of how long we were segregated and in slavery, because it's much longer than we've been free. So I wanted you guys to see that all of these years that it took for these things to be ingrained into our, you know, forefathers' minds and passed from generation to generation, it's going to take some time also for us to deprogram ourselves. And it takes a lot of these biases that we have in our subconscious. And I want to do my part in holding up a mirror, because I saw some things that I didn't like in myself, and possibly help others to see it as well. We're in 2020 and people are still criticizing Blue Ivy and her features. Okay, so this person named K. Austin Collins, and he is a journalist, and it's worth mentioning that he is a black man. He said, "I have a feeling Jay-Z's face jeans are about to really hit Blue Ivy, and I feel so sorry for her." Violet Luca, a web editor who is a white woman, she said, "They haven't already, or she'll just get plastic surgery at 16, a la Kylie Jenner, and we'll all have to pretend she always looked that way. I can't allow myself to feel so sorry for the incredibly rich." Now, we all know the reason why this man was saying her face jeans were kicking in or about to kick in, or they already have, is because of her nose. Because I'm gonna put up a side-by-side picture of Blue Ivy and her mother around the same age. They pretty much look just alike. And you know what the one difference is between her and Beyonce? Her nose. Yeah, her black nose that she got from her black father. And this man right here that's had the nerve to say that, he has a nose very similar to that one. So to me, that was just straight up self-hate. He may not realize it, but it's straight up self-hate. And he should really take a look at himself for actually wanting to not only comment on an 8-year-old, but to imply that she's going to be ugly because of her nose. Like, the lady's comment, I mean, it was just, let's just call it what it is. It was racist. To me, the thing that really bothered me about the tweet was that she said she's going to get surgery like Kylie Jenner. When Kylie Jenner, all she does is try to look like a black woman. Blue Ivy doesn't have to get surgery to look like a black woman. She is going to be a black woman one day. Blue Ivy's lips are already, you know, she ain't gonna have to get no filler in her lips. And also, you are the reason why so many celebrity kids decide to go get surgery. Because so many people like you are constantly criticizing their looks and calling them ugly on the internet. They both apologize, but it's just the nerve, the audacity, the gall that you would have to get online and criticize a child and basically call her ugly because of her black features. It's extremely insulting. But I can't act like our own people haven't done that for years, when she was even younger, when she was a baby. Blue Ivy is good. She has parents that are clearly building up her confidence, and she definitely, I can tell just how she carries herself. She doesn't have a problem with that. But let's think about the little girls that may hear this, that have the same features as her, that have the same textures as her, that are internalizing this message and in turn hating themselves because of it. Because I know a lot of people that give out this hate towards her for her features and textures, they have those same textures, and possibly they've heard that before, and it made them want to, you know, hurt people. They want to spew it back out because that's what they received as a child, or that's what they heard growing up for so long. Because if you look at most of the people that talk about her features, that talk about her hair texture, they have it as well. But a lot of people, you know, women wear weaves. Nothing wrong with weaves. But a lot of people don't wear their hair texture because they view it as a bad texture, bad hair. They're not confident enough to wear it because of how many times people have said negative things about it. And even some people get nose jobs and do everything they can to adhere to that European standard of beauty because of so many things they've heard growing up. So I encourage everyone that thinks that way, you don't have to share it with everybody. You don't have to share everything that's on your mind, okay? Especially now on the World Wide Web, where this child can eventually grow up and see you being nasty and negative to her, even though she's a baby and somebody's child. Instead of turning a blind eye to things like this, we need to look at it. We need to have a conversation about it. We do need to examine ourselves and make sure we don't have any sort of prejudices within ourselves against our own people, because we get it enough from the outside that we don't need to be perpetuating any sort of hate within our own community. We need to be uplifting our features. We need to be looking at those noses and calling those noses beautiful. In particular, baby, your nose is beautiful. You have a beautiful nose. You have beautiful big lips. Your hair texture is gorgeous. It looks good on you. Your hair is so cute. Let these girls know, because their features are beautiful, regardless of whether you think they are or not. And that has been my TED Talk. Well, really, it was just my rant for today. I actually gave you guys a poll the other day and asked, did you want me to talk about Blue Ivy or everything wrong with America's Next Top Model? And y'all chose Blue Ivy, but I will be making a video about Top Model coming up real soon, probably next week. So yeah, look forward to that. And yeah, if you have any more topics you would like for me to discuss, anything that comes up, I would love to hear it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.